Chapter 12.1 Triangle Proportionality Theorem. This is a very simple chapter where we first have to go over the triangle proportionality theorem, which I'm going to read right here. If a line parallel to a side of a triangle intersects the other two sides, then it divides those sides proportionally. Okay, so if a line, this line right here, if you look at this line, it's parallel to the bottom side of the triangle. So whenever you have a line that is parallel to a side of a triangle and intersects the other two sides, it's going to divide these sides proportionally. So look at the proportion that's right here. It's very simple. AE over EB equals AF over FC. That proportion is what you're going to use for every problem in this section, okay? It's a very simple proportion, right? This top part over this bottom part equals this top part over this bottom part. All right? So for example, I added some numbers here. Let's say you got to find the length of segment AE, which is this part right here. Okay, I would just create a proportion, the same relationship that it says right here. I would put AE over the bottom side, the bottom part, which is segment BE, and in this case it measures 7.5, equals AF, which in this case is 2, over the bottom part, which in this case is 5. Okay, now whenever you have a proportion and you're trying to find a missing value, you got to multiply diagonally. So 2 times 7.5 is 15, and that equals AE times 5, which will give you 5 times AE. So AE has to equal 15 divided by 5. So the missing segment, AE, in this case, equals 3. If you understood that, that's all you need to know for the problems in this section. The only thing is that they're going to put the triangles upside down, sideways. They're going to try to confuse you, but that's basically all you're doing in every single problem. Let me explain that in Spanish before I do more examples. Ok, así que en esta sección tenemos que usar esta teorema que dice que si una línea paralelo a un lado de un triángulo intersecta los otros dos lados, entonces esa línea divide los dos lados proporcionalmente. Ok, así que aquí tenemos esta línea que es paralelo a este lado del triángulo. Y esta línea está dividiendo estos dos lados, ok, el lado BA y el lado AC, proporcionalmente. Miren la relación que dice aquí. Okay, esta proporción, esta relación lo van a usar para cada problema en esta sección. AE sobre EB es igual a AF sobre FC. Así que el lado arriba sobre déjame decir eso mejor, el segmento arriba sobre el segmento abajo es igual al segmento este arriba sobre el segmento este que está abajo. Así que en este ejemplo, okay, puse algunos números para hacer un ejemplo. Si están buscando el largo del segmento AE, ok, hago una proporción. Esta es la misma relación que dice aquí arriba. Ok, lo que falta es AE, y AE sobre 7.5, que es este segmento aquí abajo, es igual a este segmento, que en este caso mide 2, sobre este segmento, que en este caso mide 5. Siempre cuando tienen una proporción para resolver y encontrar el valor que falta, tienen que multiplicar diagonalmente. 2 por 7.5 me da 15. Y AE por 5 me da 5 por AE. Así que para encontrar cuánto es AE, tengo que dividir por 5. Y eso me da mi respuesta. En este ejemplo, AE mide 3. Eso es lo que vamos a hacer en cada ejemplo. Lo único es que ponen los triángulos boca abajo, al revés, para tratar de confundirlos. Okay, so same thing right here, okay? We're looking for CY in this example. Find CY. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to set up a proportion. This triangle is, whatever, sideways, I guess we could say. So the relationship is 9 over 4 equals 10 over the part I'm looking for. 9 over 4 equals 10 over cy. That's how you would set it up. Now multiply diagonally and you got 40 equals 9 times cy. I'm running out of space, but cy is going to equal 40 divided by 9. Okay, they wrote right here 40 over 9, or if you change it to a mixed number, it would be 4 and 4 over 9. If you forgot how to change it to a mixed number, you just divide 40 divided by 9. 9 goes into 40 4 times, because 4 times 9 is 36. The remainder is 4, and the remainder goes right here, and the number you're dividing by goes right here. So that's how you change 40 over 9 into a mixed number, in case you forgot. Alright, next example. Okay, so again, here we got to find dg. We got to find this part. So I set up my proportion, 32 over 24 equals 40 over, you could put x if you want to. I'm going to put dg. Alright, so multiply diagonally. 40 times 24 is going to give me 960. And 32 times dg is going to give me 32 times dg. Now dg is going to equal 960 divided by 32. Alright, and 960 divided by 32 is going to be 3 times 32 is 96. Remainder 0. It's going to be 30. Okay, so dg equals 30. That's my answer. I hope you think this is very simple. You should think this is simple, because it is. Alright, let's look at number 6. Alright, so number 6, you got to find Rn. That's this part right here that's missing. So I'm going to set up a proportion 10 over Rn equals 8 over 5. I multiply diagonally again, and I'm going to get 8 times Rn equals 10 times 5 is 50. So Rn equals 50 divided by 8. If I simplify that fraction by dividing it by 2, I'm going to get 25 over 4. So that's my answer, 25 over 4. If I want to change it to a mixed number, I divide 25 by 4, which is going to be 6. 4 goes into 25 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. Remainder 1. The remainder goes right here, and the number you're dividing by goes on the bottom. So you could either write 25 over 4 or 6 and 1 over 4. They're both correct. Okay. Next example. All right. You're gonna have, I believe, 2 word problems on this section of your homework. They're very simple. Basically, there's a triangle here where you got to do the exact same thing we just did, right? They want to know, in the question it says, what is the distance from City Hall to 2nd Street along Cedar Road? Okay, what is the distance? What is that distance? That's what they're asking for. From City Hall to 2nd Street along Cedar Road. What is that distance? Oh, and it says on the map, 1st Street and 2nd Street are parallel. They're telling you that so that we could apply everything that we just learned. So if I rewrite the problem, not that it's necessary, you should already know what to do, but just in case, this is basically what I have. I got that. This portion is 2.1. This portion is 2.8. And this portion is 2.4. Just keep in mind, they're asking us for this entire distance, not just this part right here. All right. Así que aquí tienen 2 problemas con palabras en la tarea. Es básicamente la misma cosa. Tenemos este triángulo. Dice que la primera calle y la segunda calle son paralelos, que es lo que dibujé aquí. Y quieren saber qué es la distancia desde City Hall hasta Cedar Road. No, disculpa. No, ¿qué es la distancia desde City Hall hasta la segunda calle siguiendo Cedar Road? ¿Ok? Así que, ¿qué es esta distancia completa? Todo esto. This is 2.4. Alright, so let me put an x here. Alright, so first I'm going to set up my proportion. X over 2.4 equals 2.1 over 2.8. Let me get a calculator here, just 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 2.1 times 2.4. All right, and that's going to give me 5.04. And x times 2.8 is 2.8x. Now to solve for x, I'm going to divide. So 5.04 divided by 2.8. So x is going to equal 1.8. All right, so, but that's not my answer. I'm not done yet. Let me change colors for a second. Okay, so what we just figured out is that this little part right here is 1.8. Or this part right here. That's 1.8. But the question was, what is the distance from City Hall all the way to Cedar Road? I'm sorry, I keep saying the same mistake. What is the distance from City Hall all the way to 2nd Street along Cedar Road? So we got to find this entire distance. That means I got to add 1.8 plus this portion right here, which is 2.4, for my final answer, which is going to be 4.2. Okay? Así que este segmento mide 1.8, pero otra vez nos están pidiendo la distancia desde City Hall hasta la segunda calle, siguiendo esta Cedar Road, ¿ok? Así que tengo que sumar este segmento más este segmento. Así que 1.8 más 2.4, que me da la respuesta que es 4.2. Guys, here's the second word problem that you're going to have on your homework. It says on the map, 5th Avenue, 6th Avenue, and 7th Avenue are parallel. Okay, what is the length of Main Street between 5th and 6th Avenue? What is the length of Main Street between 5th and 6th Avenue? So we have this triangle. This is what we're looking at. These two lines are parallel because it says 5th, 6th, and 7th Avenue are parallel. All right, so these two lines are parallel. Let me use a different color here. So this is the triangle that we're looking at. And we're looking for that red portion, that red segment. So this part is 0.4, this part is 0.5, this segment is 0.3, and we're looking for this part right here. Okay? So my setup is going to be 0.4 over x equals 0.5 over 0.3. Dice que en el mapa la Quinta Avenida, la Sexta Avenida y Séptima Avenida son paralelos. ¿Qué largo tiene Main Street entre la Quinta Avenida y la Sexta Avenida? Ok, así que aquí tengo el triángulo, esto es lo que estoy mirando, básicamente, y aquí está la proporción que voy a hacer. Alright, so I'm going to multiply diagonally here, 0.4 times 0.3, and I'm going to get 0.12 equals 0.5x. So x is going to equal 0.12 divided by 0.5. And my answer is going to be 0.24. All right. All right, guys. So that concludes this section.